All right, everybody, welcome in. Game 3, Celtics Pacers. Loss.
Wah.
Not looking good. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I got a lot of complaints, guys. I got a lot of complaints. Where do you guys want to start?
If you've got complaints, I'm going to let you air your grievances to start here, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Okay.
I want to start at the end with I hate
Everything.
that shot. Hate it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we're on the same page.
9 seconds to do whatever you want, and you pull up from 35 feet. It's just ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah. And what drives me crazy about it is, that you take so long to make your move. 2, I'm not quite sure this is the move, guys, because it's a 1-point game. If it's a tie game, that's a different situation.
Get going.
And listen, I'm one for Jayson Tatum ISO. I like that. I like for him to get those reps in, but I didn't think tonight was the night for that. I really didn't. You had other guys really stepping up here. Robert Williams, man, we'll get to him later. I mean, he also wasn't, doing everything down the stretch that should have benefited the Celtics. But at the same time, though, I'm not saying look, with Jayson Tatum and when it comes to Brad Stevens' late game execution, what happened to the days of Brad coming up with those crazy plays? What happened to those days of when you were unexpected? You didn't know who was going to shoot the ball at the end of the game, whether it was Evan Turner or whether Isaiah. And listen, I'm not saying I want to see Brad Stevens set up every other person for that last-minute shot, right? But we've seen Brad Stevens pull out way better tricks than that, right? Marcus Morris, a couple of those game winners when he was still wearing his uniform. He has those tricks. Why is he afraid to use them, guys? Is it too early for those tricks? I mean, isn't this the time where you work out those plays, the ones that you're really confident in?
You are.
Or is Tatum is that the best you can do? Is that it? Is that the best this team can do right now, the way they are, the way they're progressing? Is that the best finish that Brad can do? Maybe that's it.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, Josue. Everyone wants to see Tatum take the shot. If Tatum drives and kicks and Pritchard takes the final shot, everyone will be like, what was that? LeBron
but it's a 1-point game, John. I don't know.
So,
that's really true.
LeBron suffered from this. I just want Tatum to get moving a little bit. It's a 35. I don't care if he takes a 3-pointer or a pull-up jumper or backs a guy in and shoots a turnaround. But a 35-footer. I mean,
so Brad's play calling doesn't bother you there? You're more upset at Tatum?
I'm upset that he chose to take that shot instead of working for something better.
I thought this was a great opportunity for Brad to come up with something better than that. I don't know. Whether it meant Tatum making the last shot, fine. But dribbling it out for 6-7 seconds, that's not ideal.
So one thing you notice about the Pacers, and they did this all night long, is they do take away that lane. They put a guy on the elbows. They put a guy on the low post blocks there. So it cuts off a lot of the cutting, a lot of the driving lanes that they had. And, man, Jaylen Brown incredibly still tore through that and had a fantastic game, efficient, got to the rim. But I think in a late-game situation there, you don't have the cutting lanes. You don't have the driving lanes that you'd be running into 3 guys there. Now, could Tatum make a pass? But he'd been turning it over on that. I still think that's the best look he can come up with there.
I saw it on TV, hero ball garbage, okay? It's an awful shot. I've seen superstars do it. I'm a superstar. I'm going to take that shot. It's a terrible shot. You think his teammates wanted him to take that shot? That's the shot everybody wanted the game to end on?
Again, I don't mind if he takes the shot, but that's not it. That's not the one.
It was a tough shot. It definitely was.
Shot,
He's capable of making it.
That shot.
Well, this is the same conversation we had after Milwaukee. A tough shot there, and he makes it. Last-second possession's never going to be an easy, as I say, pick and roll, dump to the sidelines, again, open 3. It's never going to be that easy.
Okay, these are 2 games he's had the ball in his hands.
And he's 1 for 2.
And this was a better shot than
half player. I don't even know if that's 1.
This is a much better shot. At least he had a clean look.
Yeah, exactly.
The one he realized that Giannis knew it was coming. He was extended and he threw a moon ball into the air. That was a worse shot than this.
Yeah. So Brad's talking now. He just said they had a motion that got denied and Tatum took a tough shot. So that's basically what happened there, that they had a plan A and the Tatum heave was plan B there. And again, I don't hate it. He's capable of making that shot. He's a tough shot maker. He's your best player. If you want to do something a little fancier, you go to Brown in that situation and try to get him some penetration. And if there's any second guess, maybe you use Tatum as some sort of diversion and get it to Brown. Because if we're, through 3 games right now, who's the best Celtics player right now on offense?
Robert Williams.
Brown. No, it's Jaylen Brown. I mean, this guy's probably in the
No,
league.
he's like fourth, but yeah.
Hey,
It's Jaylen Brown. In fact, look, things came easy to Tatum for a little while tonight. He looked like he could have cooked. This had the look of a 40-point game for him at times. But what's amazing about Jaylen is he could get anything he wanted, anytime he wanted. He could get anywhere he wanted, and he only took 13 shots tonight. This is those frustrating games that Jaylen used to have where he clearly could get it going if the Celtics would involve him more, but he'd be the third or fourth option and he just goes stretches without getting the ball in his hands. There is no excuse on this team for Jaylen Brown not to get as many shots up as he wants in a game. It makes no sense to me. He was quiet after a super hot start. He absolutely needed to be more involved.
Well, what I love about
I would agree with that, John. I mean, like Bobby had mentioned, after the Bucks game, we talked about how that was a lucky shot. John's consistent. He hated this shot in Milwaukee. He hates this shot. I tend to stick with him on this. I didn't, we said, that was a lucky shot. It was a lucky shot that Tatum hit in Milwaukee, and maybe that's part of his thinking behind taking the shot tonight. He sort of got that, swagger mentality going where, he wants to take that big shot, the Damian Lillard type shots, the step back 35 footers or whatever. And I don't know what the play was. I mean, Brad clearly said that was option B, apparently, according to Bobby. So I believe him. But is that really a good option B? I mean, you can't drive your way to the hoop. You can't find a Jaylen Brown, or there isn't something like Josue mentioned. They didn't need a desperation three at that point. They could have gotten a better look from somewhere else on the court, try to force overtime, get to the line, something like that. So I wasn't super pumped with that shot selection. And yeah, I mean, you want to see somebody like Jaylen Brown maybe be a part of that play and get an opportunity, because in a situation like that, his mid-range games through the first 2.5 games or 2 games going into this one was on point. I mean, we were all talking about how his mid-range games looked. So, I mean, in that situation, you kind of think that maybe he's a guy that has a better chance of hitting it, between the paint and the 3-point line or getting to the hoop.
Yeah, that's a tough defense to go against. It's Toronto's defense, frankly. It's their assistant coach from last year from the championship team. They do that box and one. They pinch the lane. It's a lot of stuff that keeps you out of the driving lane. And frankly, I thought the Celtics were wildly impressive on the offensive night against that after some of the struggles they had against Toronto. Now, better personnel in Toronto. I don't think that Indiana has the best defenders in the world, so you would expect a better performance from Boston on this end. What blew it for Boston tonight, and we're through 3 games now, they're the worst defensive team in the league. The defense is horrid. Their defense just has no life. They get blown away in transition. Every big shot they hit, it's a shot the other way. I think their rating's 122
right now. Transition defense is abominable.
So the offense is working.
Exactly what Bobby's saying. They're pretty much trading baskets, it seemed like, in that first half.
Yeah.
So what is it? Is it the bigger lineups that they run out there? Is it how hard they're chasing offensive rebounds right now? I think that's definitely clear that they're all over the offensive glass and then just getting torched the other way. Is there not enough Daniel Tice? Only 14 minutes tonight. He's part of
actually, let's get to that. Brad said it after the game. Asked point blank, is something wrong with Tice? He said, nope. Williams was just our best big tonight. Okay. I put a poll up on Celtics Twitter, not a ton of respondents, but yet, because it was late in the game, but overwhelmingly, Robert Williams was the answer. And again, he's a fan favorite. It's a popular answer. There's no question. Again, I always do the test. If you were just dropped, from another planet onto your sofa today to watch this basketball game, and this is the first time you saw any of these guys play, you would think Robert Williams was a far superior basketball player to Tristan Thompson and Daniel Tice. Just tonight, in terms of his activity, his athleticism, he was all over the place. He was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a long-winded way of saying that he had a good game tonight. I mean, of course, and I think that's why he was in the game, is because he was performing, to that level of a level that a lot of Celtics fans, and I probably imagine coaches, have been kind of waiting to see that sort of energy, I think you would call it, from Robert Williams. Sometimes I see him out there and I feel like he's going at like 70%, or he's just slow to everything. And I didn't feel like that tonight. I mean, even the 3-pointer that Jayson Tatum missed late in the game, that was off of a great pass by Rob Williams. I mean, Tatum
Mhm.
had a wide
Great
open
point.
three.
That's the best look you want there, right?
Exactly. And if that shot goes, I mean, we might be having a completely different post game right now. Tatum
Right.
missed a wide open
That was
shot.
the
But
game
that
right
was
there.
a perfect look.
Yeah.
Perfect look. So, you know, tip my cap to Rob Williams. I mean, that's the type of game that we've all been kind of waiting to see. And listen, if he can play like that, I'm fine with him taking minutes from Tice.